have you ever considered like roofies, but just for yourself?
Well, I can take, like, they give me this sleeping medication called, I can't remember. It's really strong. And it'll knock me out. But it'll knock me out for 12 or 16 hours. And then even when I get up, I feel like I'm drunk. So I'm like, isn't there something in between? So they gave me this medication called Doxepin, which is a very mild sleep medication, and said, you can take 1 to 3 of these at night. Well, if I took 1 or 2, I would wake up from the pain. If I took 3, I would sleep for 12 hours and still feel groggy when I woke up. So I kept begging the VA, can you give me something that's not going to give me a hangover, but will still be stronger than the pain? And, they haven't come up with a solution yet. They've tried anti-anxiety drugs. They've tried big-time pain drugs, which I've, said I didn't want any more of because they were just too strong. And, literally at one point they had me on morphine pills. And I said, I can't do this. This makes me a total zombie, Mm-hmm. So there just seems to be no solution to the killing the pain to allow sleep imbalance. I haven't been able to fix it yet.
Now, have you tried to take Ambien?
Yes, that was the drug I was talking about before. I just forgot the name of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it kicked my ass. It knocked me unconscious. And by the time I did plus I would do weird shit like sleepwalk. That's the first time I've ever done that. Like my girlfriend would catch me in the fridge, staring in the fridge for 5 or 10 minutes in the middle of the night. I don't even remember doing it,
Oh.
Weird shit.
Oh.
Yeah. So I can't have any more of that. I'm afraid I'll walk out the door and get hit by a truck.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I haven't had any sleep problems as of recently, but in the past I have, and someone always suggested that. And then you hear about all these stories about people hopping in their car, driving even.
Yeah.
And,
I have heard of that.
That's scary.
Barko's on Skype now. Oh, sorry to interrupt you there, Apocales.
Oh, sorry.
Now, your guys are going to have to tell me how to answer a second call that comes into Skype. It always kicks my ass. I know he's going to call in because he always does. Okay. So let's go freestyle, guys. For those of you that don't know, you're listening to Kevin Kierstead in the Truth on Tap show, and the best host on Spreaker of all hosts is Apocales. And I will share his show and the Facebook announcement for the show you're listening to right now, which is on Facebook.com/Truth on Tap show. It looks like our chief antagonist, Barko, may be contacting to get in on this 3-way. RD, the Flying Dutchman, would be in here, but I'm not signed up for Unseen yet, which is his alternative to Skype. So we're going freestyle now. No rules. We're talking about whatever we want. We've already finished talking about psychotics and psycho X's and Chucky dolls. And now we're just, I don't know, maybe we'll talk about ball sacks or oversized vaginas or, how about out there in Phoenix, do you see UFOs? Phoenix Lights. Were you there during that?
I was there. I actually saw them, yeah.
Are you serious? So are you a big-time UFO believer now?
No, because at the time they came up with a good enough excuse. It was like flares or something like that, because it did look like flares.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they've changed the official story yet or not, but it did look like flares. But why are you throwing flares up in the air all like that? It did look kind of weird because it's so out of place, but
yeah. I had heard that too, and basically the way those lights showed up, I have to admit, it was consistent with what you would see. If a jet taking evasive maneuvers had released flares, that's what you would have seen. So at the time when I first saw it, I was not interested at all in UFOs. I thought, it's the crazies. And this was 1997, I believe. And so when I saw the footage and heard that explanation, I did the same as you. I wrote it off and said, okay, it was just flares. People are overreacting. But then the people started coming forward with this, 500-yard wide craft they saw flying over their house. And there were thousands of them that saw this. And I said, well, now that doesn't sound like something flares would create. So I don't know. Even your ex-governor says he saw that craft that night.
Oh, Five Simonton, whatever.
Is that his name? Yeah. He made fun of the guys at first. Remember when he had the press conference and had the alien come on?
Oh.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious, but everybody got offended by it. So, For all I know, it was a military craft that we were testing out. But it seems odd to have a distraction in the sky to get everybody to look up on that night when everybody was looking up anyway to see either an eclipse or a meteor shower. I can't remember what it was. But people were already looking up that night. So that would be a bad night to do military things that you didn't want seen. So there's Barko.
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Add to group call, okay. I just added him to group call. Is this the Barko?
This is the Barko, yes.
The Barko is now on with the Apocales and the Kev. My name sounds the gayest of all. That's not good.
I'm sorry, I think I interrupted. You were discussing the military or something?
Yeah, we were talking about the 997 Phoenix Lights, and did you believe in UFOs? I was talking to Apocales about that.
Oh,
what do you think about that?
Those are pretty one of the more convincing, incidents in the history of UFOs, I do believe, because the entire community witnessed them, saw them, and it seemed legit. So it wasn't just an isolated little shooting star type UFO. Wasn't it kind of like the whole city thing?
Yeah, that's what they had over 10,000 witnesses to because there were actually three major incidents. There were the Phoenix Lights, the circle of lights, and then there was the craft that was traveling southwest. That so many people reported flying right over their house, and they said the thing was as wide as like 5 football fields. And then there was another sighting of some jets chasing something to the north. So it just sounded like a really busy night, as far as UFO activity goes. But do you believe in aliens? You believe aliens have been to Earth, Barko? Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Okay, you're back, apparently.
This Plantronics microphone headset I'm using, I'm on Linux, and there's like a microphone mute thing. I was trying just to mute the mic so I wouldn't like snort cocaine while I was on air. But it actually, because it's Linux and not Windows, it's mismapped, so it just shut down the whole thing. So, all right, go ahead.
Are you still there, Apocales?
Yeah,
Apocales?
I'm here.
Okay. I was just going to ask you,
Apocales, I was going to ask you, when it comes to Lisa, does the carpet match the drapes with the little stripy thing? That would be very cool, wouldn't it? The mostly black but little stripe of white in the pubes I don't know.
That's highly, highly inappropriate. And of course, we're waiting till marriage for all that extramarital sexual relations.
No, Apocales, do not marry her. That will cut down on her benefits from her baby daddies. I mean, come on. The whole point of Lisa is she has all this income, man.
Yeah. Welcome to the drama part of the show.
But Kevin, before you get too far afield in aliens and that, I wanted to say two things to you about your the point of the show. One, there's a Dr. Drew, there's a documentary, if you go on YouTube, called Divorce Corp. And it's about how the whole divorce industry is all about making money for judges, lawyers, like family court judges get elected because they get bribes from divorce lawyers who typically get the money from the women. So it's called Divorce Corp. If you want to pull up the trailer on YouTube and watch it, it sounds like and there are things beyond financial, obviously. Men just get fewer rights when it comes to their children and that.
Yeah, so, that's true.
And the other
I would definitely be watching that.
Yeah, it's recommended by Dr. Drew and that, who's never been divorced or anything. He just says he empathizes with the men in these scenarios. But the other thing I was going to say is your daughter at this point, she's 14. Maybe you should, Virginia has much better higher educational institutions than Florida, obviously.
Yes.
So maybe that's something if she could be a resident of Virginia, maybe get apply to University of Virginia. Virginia Tech, I don't know. There's a lot of really, really good universities, and University of Richmond's a very, I don't. Maybe that's a way for you and her to get her away from her mother, and you can reconnect with her. So,
well, I would love to do that. In fact, my girlfriend and I were talking about that earlier tonight. About when it's her college years, maybe she'll want to come up this way. Maybe I could help get her into William and Mary or something. And I went to William and Mary's little sister college, Christopher Newport University, and my academic advisor there, Dr. Lee Dories, he had written me up a letter to go to William and Mary. I recommend you accept Kevin out of this college, And I was going to go, and I probably should have gone because it is kind of important, your college's name, when you go from basically a no-name college to a big-name college, even though they're the same, basically. I was going to do it, and I changed my mind. I said, I already know where all the classrooms here are. I know half the professors here. I'm just going to stay here at Christopher Newport. And But I still have some friends that might be able to help me if she needs help to get into a college like William and Mary, or like you said, UVA or Tech. I mean, those are excellent schools, you know.
Yeah, and also I would think she would get in-state tuition because you're there as, you know, in-state resident, and that can save quite a bit of coin, you know, so.
Absolutely.
In Florida, really, I mean, I actually went to well, I'm not going to say where I went because it's very small, but anyhow, but yeah, Florida has nothing for schools, really, so, you know.
Yeah. What do you think about the University of Florida and Florida State?
I mean, they're like any kind of large public institution. I got a master's degree from Michigan State, and if you're focused and you pay attention to your classes you're taking, that they're okay. You can get a good education. Yeah. But I would think someone just out of high school, I would think a smaller, like a William and Mary, or even the what was the Newport school you mentioned, or Christopher Newport?
Yeah, it's called Christopher Newport University. It used to be Christopher Newport College. It was a kind of a go-between between William and Mary and Christopher Newport.
You know, I mean, I don't know how strong your daughter is academically, but if someone is, you know, even if they're strong academically, going to a smaller environment at first and getting some familiarity with how you handle college might be beneficial to anyone, I think, you know. I just think the larger university environment people fall through the cracks.
Yeah, I think you're right, too. I just saw that there was a report that came out. I didn't read the whole report. I just saw the headline that said MIT was rated the #1 university in the world.
Oh.
Thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the liberal arts thing that William and Mary has, or some of the, like Bowdoin, you know, some of the New England, I mean, basically New England colleges down along the mid-Atlantic states are better than anywhere else in the nation, I think. So, you know, William and Mary is really top. I mean, even in the Midwest, we recognize that name, so. What's the all-male college down there? God, I can't remember the name of that one.
Well, they had an all-female one that was Longwood College. I can't remember the all-male one.
In Virginia.
But even that one's changed
Randolph
now. There.
Or something, or?
Oh, that might be Randolph-Macon?
Yeah. Because I spent a semester at Wabash College, an all-male college in Indiana, and I hated it, so I got the hell out of there. So it's terrible. And I got Hampton-Sydney, I'm thinking of maybe. Okay, yeah, that rings a bell for me. Yeah. Yeah, it says as of December 2008, there were 3 non-religious institutions in the United States, mostly Hampton-Sydney, Morehouse College, which is a black college, and then Wabash College, where I got like a full scholarship to go and went for a semester, and said, "There's no chicks here. Yeah. Get me out of here." So I don't know. But, speaking of chicks, how have things been going in your life? Well, I mean, NASCAR girl still texts me. That's my last girlfriend, and I haven't really seen her since RD knows when. So. Yeah, so it's weird when you're my age and you're with somebody who you don't want to be with, and they really want to be with you, and you try to like express that to them. You know, but they're still very willing to meet up with you whenever you want. And you, if you're not a psychopath or a sociopath or whatever, then it kind of rubs you the wrong way morally. In other ways, it's like, God, stop seeing me. I don't really want, and you know, I only see when I'm really drunk. It's late at night and I'm horny. Do you understand that? It's like a healthy relationship either way. So, booty call. Yeah, but we're two. I mean, I'm 43. She's 42. Not really the age you should be doing that shit. You know. So. Yeah. So how did you meet your current girlfriend? Actually, we went to high school together, and it's funny because I met her at a party, and I actually gave her a kiss, but I felt like I was robbing the cradle because she was in like 10th grade and I was 12th. So no. I didn't pursue it, you know. And then I come back 20 years later and meet back up with her, and the next thing you know, we've been together 4 years planning on marriage. So that's where we are. Did Facebook facilitate that? Yes, it did, actually. That's how she contacted me. So yeah, so she remembered handsome, tall Kevin from way back when. Yep. And circled back there. So was this fictional character your first and only betrothed or married? Yes, technically yes. But remember, she is fictitious. So yes, I was married to her in the fictional story. But that's the only legal formal marriage you've had or whatever. Yes, it is. It's the only time I've ever been married. Okay. And so there's no reason for that. I mean, I could have gotten married again. I've always been very patient since then to get to know somebody over the course of not months but years. Yeah. And I think I learned my lesson, you know.
I learned my lesson the hard way.
So you're prepared to do it again and do it the right way.